What's up guys, it's Geeks Corner here, and today we're going to do something slightly different. If you've been following our channel for a while, you know that I'm an iPhone fan. I'm in the ecosystem. I've got Macs, I've got the Apple Watch, I've got the HomePod, I've got the iPad, I've got the Apple TV. I've got quite a lot of things on there because I'm actually in the Apple ecosystem. I love how it works together, I love how simple it is, and I love how secure it is. But this year I wanted to try something a little different. I decided I was going to sell my iPhone XR a few months back, ready for the iPhone 12. I'd saved up, and then I could get more premium for me if I sold it early than before Apple announced the iPhone 12, and so that's what I did. So I've been using an iPhone SE original for several months now, and I gotta be fair, it's been painful. I'm not used to the smaller size screen, and the battery life on this one is second hand that I picked up anyway. It's just absolutely shocking. I've got to charge the phone several times a day. And I was really looking forward to the iPhone 12, and the event, as I'm filming this, is going to be tonight when Apple announced the iPhone 12. And so I was looking forward to it, and I still am. However, I decided I wanted to try and see if I could go with switching to an Android. Now, before you all shoot me down, there are some reasons for this. It's 2020, this year's been absolutely crazy, and everybody's costs have had to be cut in some areas. Some people have unfortunately lost their jobs and things like that. I've been very fortunate and been able to still continue to work through this whole thing. However, I am aware that these days cost of smartphone are skyrocketing. Now, when Apple introduced the iPhone 10 originally, it was at the £1,000 price mark, and then the XR, the price came down, and again the iPhone 11 came in actually cheaper than the iPhone XR. However, iPhone 12 price rumours at the moment are going to range anything from about $700 to over $1,000 again, and I want something premium range. I don't mind paying premium prices to an extent. However, if you look out there at other companies, they are actually bringing the cost of their devices down. Now, I do like the fact that Apple offer support for older iPhones. As I mentioned, I'm using an original SE. I'm running iOS 14, and yeah, it's a little bit buggy. However, it still runs fantastic for the fact that it's really old, but it's got the latest software. So I still wanted to go with something that's going to be supported. Now, I am a fan of Google Pixels. We've done an unboxing before of a Google Pixel 3, and I've got Google items in my house. I've got Google Homes, I've got the Nest Home monitors as well, and I like the fact that Google obviously offer pure Android experience, and they are providing support for older models. Running a business can be hard, and maintaining a social media presence could even be harder. That's where Creatively Social come in. Creatively Social works with small business and entrepreneurs to keep their social media accounts active and engage with their customers whilst they are busy running their day-to-day business. For competitive pricing, check out creativelysocialva.com. Thanks Creatively Social for sponsoring today's episode. For a few years as well. Now, obviously not as much as Apple, I appreciate that. However, their Pixel 5 has come out at £599 at the moment, so that is their flagship device for this year. It's got pretty good battery specs at the moment, so we're going to be testing that out as well. So I've actually gone ahead and I've ordered that, and I'm waiting for delivery. That actually is due to launch in the UK in 2 days' time whilst I'm recording this video. And what I do also like as well, that whilst they may not have the most up-to-date specs such as their processing power and also their camera, still offering the same megapixel as on their Pixel 3 line. I like the fact that a lot of their smarts comes from software as well, and with that they're able to offer that to older devices as well. So just like Apple has done with their iOS, they're actually doing that with things like their camera and things like that. And I know that when they offered their nighttime mode for shooting, I think it was called, I'm not sure if it was Night Sight, I was actually able to go back to the Pixel 2 as well. And I know somebody who had a Pixel 2 and their camera shots were on par at the time with the Pixel 3 and the 3A as well when that came out. And so I wanted something that I knew was going to be supported. Now, this isn't going to be an easy switch. like I say, I use an Apple Watch, which obviously pairs to an iPhone, so I'm going to have to go without iMessage. Thankfully, I've got the cellular Apple Watch. However, obviously things are going to change. I'm still going to be using this to track my fitness, which is what I use it for anyway. The only things that I'm not really going to be able to do with it that I do normally would be day-to-day syncing of podcasts and things like that. I'm going to obviously have to change. I currently use Overcast, which is fantastic on iOS, but obviously doesn't have an Android version. So I'm going to do a lot of switching around and things like that. So I'm going to cover it in the video how you can obviously prepare to transfer over if you did want to. I'm not saying I'm going to stay there forever. I'm not saying that this means that iPhones suck. Like I say, I'm still looking forward to the iPhone event. I'm still going to follow it closely. I'm still going to cover it on my website. I probably will switch back to an iPhone at some point. However, I wanted to see how it would go, and this would be an interesting experiment to see what it's like for an iPhone user to switch to Android on there as well. And again, I am aware that there are a lot better specs out there on, for example, your Samsungs and things like that, but I wanted to put Google OS on there, and I just wanted to give it a go. So I'm going to give that a try. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.